everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Classic Gamer Bobby, and today on Retro One and Done, I've got Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo for you. Let's check it out. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and kick off Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. This is one of my favorite Castlevania games. There's been a lot of different Castlevania games that's come out over the years for many different systems. Ranging from the original 8-bit Nintendo all the way up to the PS3. Now, as far as Castlevania games go, I would have to say this is one of the standout titles for me. So, like this one, Castlevania Rondo of Blood for the TurboGrafx 16 CD-based system, and of course I can't forget Castlevania Symphony of the Night or the original PlayStation. Those were my three big Castlevania games. Whereas I do remember playing Castlevania 1, 2, and 3 on the original Nintendo. I preferred Castlevania 3 on those. Castlevania 2, not so much. It was kind of different. It had more RPG elements to it. So let's just enter our name here and check out a couple of levels of this game and see if it still holds up. So the music in this game is excellent in my opinion. Let's see. Do I want the knife? Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab the knife. Jump down. Now, for those of you that never played a Castlevania game, the hearts don't refill your health, they just add to your ammunition. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the top right corner there at the HUD, you'll notice that there's a little heart symbol and it keeps going up. Well, just a second ago I picked up the knives. And every time I throw a knife, it depletes from the heart amount, so you have to think of them like, you know, your ammo count or your sub-weapon that you have. And you want to collect money just so, you know, you can get extra points, get an extra life. Because this game can be hard. It's real difficult the further in you get. I do remember that. A lot of the Castlevania games are pretty difficult. This door. The cool thing about this Castlevania was you could do this with your whip. You know, you can swing it around, you can whip in all different types of directions. Oh, that was stupid. There we go, kill these guys, get some points. Whoa, didn't see that guy almost. That's getting on my nerves. Alright, now I remember these guys. Spit fireballs out at you. An area over here I can break and get some health. Yeah. Got him. There we go. You can also snuff out fireballs with your whip. Way you don't get hit. Oh, nope. Messed that up. Now, I will say this is probably some of the best graphics on the Super Nintendo. All things considered. Oh cool, we got invincibility. But to me, the big highlight of this game is the music. The music is just outstanding in my opinion. Whoop. No, don't go back down, dude. These hearts. There's a bunch of little different things that your character could do in this game, like swing from Come on, die, dude. Really? There we go. He could swing from these things right here. Ooh. Got a little health there, that's awesome. Kill this guy real quick before he shoots me. You can also do this weird crawl walk thing. It's kind of a, yeah. It's like, it looks awkward to me. That's pretty neat. It can get you in a bunch of different tight spots in the game you couldn't normally get to. Because this was like one of the last original Castlevania style games. And what I mean by that is when, well no, I take that back. Rondo of Blood was. It was kind of it was actually the prequel. Rondo of Blood was the prequel to Symphony of the Night. The Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation changed up everything. That's why you might hear the term used for it called Metroidvania. What they mean by that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night revolutionized the way a Castlevania game would be made and played from there on out. You had full exploration of the level. You could level up your character. There were RPG elements added to it. Collecting weapons, armor upgrades, things like that. And that kind of went throughout with the rest of the Castlevania games. And of course, Metroid, especially Super Metroid, excuse me, Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, you kind of could do the same thing. You know, you had full exploration of the levels, you know, weapon upgrades, things like that, secret hidden areas. This guy's gonna kill me. Yep, I died. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and that's why, you know, that term is used for these games. Metroidvania. So if you ever see any other game made nowadays for any, you know, current gen system that you might hear them say Metroidvania style, that's what they're referring to. It's a kind of a combination of, you know, of Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, and it's just all in reference of the gameplay and the feel of the game. Right. Walk up the stairs, please. There we go. No, no count, no dice. I can't believe I died there. Kill that guy. Another big thing about this game, I mean, it's just the atmosphere, you know? Oh. There it is. I was looking for the button to do that. Dang it, I walked into the knife. I didn't mean to do that. No good. I don't want the knife. The knife is the worst weapon in the game. By far. I like the stopwatch, it'll stop time, pretty cool. Help. All I got is the knife. This is gonna be interesting. Bam. Kill this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get off me, dude. There we go. Oh, I thought he died. Thought he died. Jump up and strike a pose. But yeah, I would say the music definitely holds up. The graphical style, I mean, it definitely has its nostalgia, right? It looks good. It's not poorly animated. Plenty of frames of animation in there, especially for the sprites. The sprite work looks really good. You have a bit of parallax scrolling going on in the background, like right here with the clouds in the background. It's just something, you know, timeless about that, in my opinion. You don't get games like that anymore. Well, you can, but it's rare, you know, that a developer, you know, or a studio will make a game in a retro style. Two that come to mind are Shovel Knight and The Messenger, which is kind of like a homage to Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi. Really fun game. Come on, die. That's another thing about this game. You really got to time your jumps right. That's a big portion of the game's like deaths are caused by, you know, a ill-placed jump or, you know, wrong timing with your jump. Let's see, what do we got here? Hey, needed that. How many hearts do I have? 30? So we don't want to jump down there. Woo! Well, that, whatever that guy is, some sort of leaf dude. One random zombie. Okay. Out of nowhere. That was kind of cheap. That's another thing about this game. It can be a little cheap at time with enemy placement. The hell was that? Bird! I'm gonna stick with the axe. Hate those frogs. I swear I hate those frogs. Outrun the frog. Frog! Don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die, don't die. Alright. Oh, we got the cross. Nice. That's good timing right there. Kind of stun on him real quick. You son of a... Lost all my health. There's another bit of health I can get right here. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Now I do remember way back in the day, I think I beat this game once, and that was a real challenge. I mean, fighting Dracula, who happens to be the end boss in most of these Castlevania games, it's actually Dracula, was hard. I mean, it was a difficult battle. I would say possibly the hardest version of Dracula. Wow, was Rondo of Blood Dracula. Not Rondo of Blood, I'm sorry. The Dracula from Dracula X, which was another Super Nintendo Castlevania game. It was kind of like a reimagining of Rondo of Blood. Wasn't as good though. Just something was off about it, you know? Not that it played bad or anything like that, it was just, it wasn't, you know, a port of Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood is a great game. As far as Castlevania games go. No. Alright. This thing. Grab some hearts. Go to that. Yeah, we're going to be ending this video here shortly once I beat this level, or this little area. This game does bring back a lot of memories though, because before survival horror games were a thing, and if you remember, that kind of really kicked off with the Resident Evil franchise. which started out on the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. Um, this was kind of all we had as far as like, you know, horror games like this, and, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, games like that. And I would remember, you know, every Halloween, I would play these type of games, you know, just for, you know, thematic and, you know, just seemed appropriate. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the game here. I'm going to let it run, then pause it, and we'll do a little discussion here about it. Now, like I said, this game to me is probably one of my favorite Castlevania games. The graphics, in my opinion, still hold up. They look really great for a Super Nintendo game. Now, like, take this shot right here, for instance, of this stage. The depth of field that they have going on here. There is parallax scrolling in this level, and what parallax scrolling is, let's say if I move the character, you see how the background images move separately from the foreground images? That's parallax scrolling. And they probably have about 2, maybe 3 layers of parallax scrolling on there. The music is fantastic, in my opinion. Music from Castlevania games is always good. My favorite Castlevania soundtrack, of course, would be Symphony of the Night. The playability of this game, like the replay factor, it's relatively high. You can always go back and have a good time with this game. So overall, I would probably rate this game, if we're talking about Super Nintendo games, mind you, and Castlevania games in general, I would rate this one an 8 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't played it. It's for the Super Nintendo specifically. You might be able to find it like on, if you still have a, you know, well, you can't do it anymore, but like the Wii Shop, the Wii U Shop, it might be sold on the Nintendo Switch eShop. I'm not sure. I know they recently released a Castlevania collection, and it is on there as well. You can get that for PC, Switch, PS4, and I believe Xbox One. I'm not sure. But yeah, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you smash that like button. And until next time, guys, remember, keep on gaming.